Welcome back, Pokemon Trainers. Professor Chaz here, the lab coat's on back order, and it's time for episode number 40. That's right, of Pokemon Silver, here the playthrough on the channel. In the last episode, we were continuing our exploration of some of the areas in Johto because we are prepared to take on the Elite Four just about. There's a few little nooks and crannies we haven't checked out just yet, and that's what we're dealing with the past couple episodes. This should be the last episode, I believe, of our exploration of the, more subtle areas of the region. So, that being the case, we did last time go through Mount Mortar quite a bit. We kind of got a little sidetracked in there. We did find our way to the Karate King, who is training way far in the back. And if I had a team of 5 Pokemon, after defeating him, he would have given me a Tyrogue, which is the pre-evolution for Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, and Hitmontop, a new Pokemon in this region, and this new generation. But I didn't have a team of 5, plus I wasn't going to use the Tyrogue anyhow. But I did show off, if you do need to pick one up, that is where you find it in Gen 2, in the original Silver and Gold, and maybe even Crystal too. I'm not that sure about Crystal. But anyway, we are now here at the Lake of Rage, because in the past couple episodes, a good viewer by the name of Ice King 688 has been keeping me apprised of places I haven't gone and checked out yet. He did mention Lake of Rage is one of these as well. So let's show a team recap. Currently, we only have 2 active Pokemon on the team, because we have 2 previously defeated Pokemon here for HM purposes, and we have 2 Pokemon that are a bit high, or too high level for us to use at the time, or for the time being. We're going to put our level 37 at the front, and it's going to be our Clefable Fluffy. She has the Never Melt Ice to power up her Ice Punch, which we taught her to deal with the Dragon types in Blackthorn City. She also has Double Edge, Metronome, and Sing. She's our especially defensive Pokemon at 88 special defense. And the last active member of the team currently is Machamp at level 38, holding his Brick Piece Teddy Bear type item. He has Strength, Vital Throw, Leer, and Earthquake, and his attack is a whopping 116. I like it. And that's all we're going to show off. Gary and Keaton have been defeated already. And Chirp and Rocky are here as well for maneuverability and cutting down these bushes, which I want to take care of now as we continue checking out the Lake of Rage. I don't know the proper path to take through here, unfortunately, so it's going to be a little bit of me fumbling around, trying to find my way through the forest. This is very reminiscent, I just realized, of the Pokemon Go adventure I just got back from. I shouldn't say I just got back. I got back a little while ago, but we did, me and a friend of mine, go through the, like a big nature park. We went into some trails, walking through the forest, and just checking out a lot of possible potential Pokemon captures. I'm not going to say what happened yet, but come on back to the channel tomorrow to check out the adventure of Pokemon Go and see if we did happen to find any special encounters. Let's just say that. Alright, so pack is... what am I saying? The pack is open. We just picked up TM43. TM43 is... Detect. So that's like Protect. Can we buy Protect in this generation? I don't know. It's interesting that Detect, however, is only a 5 PP move, as opposed to Protect, which is 10. And some Pokemon naturally learn Detect, but I'm pretty sure every Pokemon can learn the Protect attack, except the ones that can't learn TMs, like Caterpie, Magikarp, stuff like that. So if you ever have a Pokemon that can learn Detect, unless for some reason you want less PP, teach it Protect instead. It's a better way to go. And we find our way to this cabin here. You have strayed far. Here I have meditated. Inside me, a new power has been awakened. Let me share my power with your Pokemon. Take this, child. Is this hidden power? Sounds like it might be. Do you see it? It is hidden power. It draws out the power of Pokemon for attacking. Remember this. Its type and power depend on the Pokemon using it. Now, unfortunately, I do not believe there's a person in this generation, in this game, that can tell you what the hidden power of your Pokemon will be. Therefore, I'm not going to use that on anybody except... You know what? I just might, now that I think about it. I'm not going to say who, but I'll probably do that as an off-screen sort of a thing, and you'll see it eventually. But if I do get to go into Pokemon Stadium 2, which I am considering doing, if you guys want to see that, I will show off the Pokemon I'm going to teach Hidden Power to, assuming it is the same Hidden Power as it is currently. Let's just leave it at that. Alright, we find a Max Ether. We can put that, of course, in the PC until we take on the Elite Four at the Pokemon League. And I think there's only one more section I have to check out. There's a trainer down here that was sort of blocking a path. Or not blocking the path, but he's standing next to a path of a tree that we have to cut down and find one last little section of the Lake of Rage, and then we can go back into Mount Mortar. I think there was only one area in there I have not checked out yet. And then, to round off the episode, maybe, just maybe, I'll see if... Why is this here? Is this just to tease that the building is over there? Probably is. Alright, so we're gonna head on back to Ecruteak City. Ecruteak, or... Let's go to Mahogany Town. Come on, Chirp, let's fly our way there. We'll go to Mahogany, and I don't need Cut anymore. I'm going to put Rocky away, and we're going to get the brain back to go for some flash attacks. Because I want to go back into Mount Mortar. So, Bill's PC, deposit a Pokemon. Let's put Rocky away, let him rest up a little bit. Thank you, Rocky, for cutting our way through the Lake of Rage. Much appreciated. Let's go ahead and find the brain. There he is. Another previously defeated Pokemon, as you can see in the layout, unfortunately. But he does have that move we need, excuse me, sir, to find our way through Mount Mortar. The first thing I want to do, I didn't go into the left or right entrance just yet. So, I'm going to leave the shop. We're going to go into the right side of Mount Mortar, just to light things up, because we haven't seen this yet. I want to see if there's any areas that we can get to from here. From what I recall, it's just going to connect behind the waterfall to take us out the other side, and if so, that's fine. We'll just kind of surf our way back to the center area. You know what I didn't do, and what I want to do? I'm going to go back to town for a moment, because just to speed up our exploration of this area, because I want to get it over and done with, I am going to use repels. Now, normally when I play a game, I don't like to use repels. I like to get all the wild encounters possible. Now I'm second-guessing myself. You know what? I apologize for all the random encounters we're going to experience, but I'm not using a repel, and here is why. My thought process is, if we happen to find a shiny Pokemon, that's going to make all the wild encounters worth it, and we've gone 40 episodes now. I was going to say 39. We've gone 40 episodes thus far, not finding a single shiny Pokemon, unless you count the red Gyarados, but nobody counts the red Gyarados. Everybody sees that. So, our odds are pretty good that we're going to find a shiny Pokemon in this episode. I'm calling it right now, even though I shouldn't, because I have no clue if it's going to happen or not. This could be it. It is not. So, we're just basically going to run... Blah, 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 blah. I keep trying to stumble over my words. We're basically going to run from all the encounters that we do happen to find. See, there's more items to get. Wait, there are other ways to go. Okay, so that's the item we just saw. It's going to be a guard spec. And what exactly does that do? I think it prevents you from losing stats in a battle. But that is all for here. Okay. So we've at least found one item. And if I don't even plan to use it, I could, of course, just sell it for money. And this here... Wait a minute! We can strength our way through this. Let's do this, Machamp. Push that out of the way. Let's see what we can gain access to now. So there's still considerably more to Mount Mortar than I was expecting. We can't go up there. Is there anywhere we can go around to get past these ledges? Come on, shiny Geodude? Nope. Alright. And what was I going to say? Something about... If we have enough time at the end of this, I might just kind of roam around in the grass areas near Ecruteak City, just to see if we can encounter any legendary Pokemon that have been roaming around in the wild for the past couple episodes. Chances are pretty slim that we're going to, but how about this? If I can think of something to talk about as we do so, then I'll just kind of keep going back and forth in the grass and just seeing if a legendary Pokemon shows up. So, bear with me as I try to think of things to talk about. I suppose I could take a moment to remind everybody of the question of the week, or rather, question of the day, which has been expanded into a week, that is going on the channel. Getting some feedback from you guys to see what you guys like on the channel and whatever kind of videos you like. Now, the question is, of all the series that I have on the channel thus far, which one or which several are your favorites? I am talking, of course, about the playthroughs such as Pokémon Silver here, we have Pokémon TCG live online matches, we've got the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, online competition Wi-Fi battles, we got the Monday news update videos, and the Pokemon Go footage as well. So what I'm doing is, I have two code cards, which are kind of tucked off to the side for now, but I've already shown them off this week. Code cards for Pokemon TCG Online for Roaring Skies and Ancient Origins booster packs. Look, there's an item just teasing me. And for your chance to win one of those code cards, I am asking you to leave a comment down below with your hashtag QOTD in the comment, answering the question, just to get some feedback from you guys to see which videos you like on the channel for the most part, and it gives me an idea how to expand the channel, giving you guys the footage that you want to see. So look how many items we missed on our previous way through, so we're not going to go down there, of course. We want to make our way up to the top, get around here, grab these items. You never know what really good stuff we might find. And I'm just waiting to see if a shiny Pokemon decides to appear. But, had a pretty good day of Pokemon going, like I said. We did go to the nature park, and didn't really encounter anything too amazingly crazy. I did make one new capture, though. But I'm going to save that for the Pokemon Go episode itself. You guys can check that out. I'm still hearing, unfortunately, more audio glitching and stuff, so I might have to see if I can update my screen recorder, because everything seems to be fine until I hit record, and then the game starts to, the audio starts to bug out a little bit. So I'm gonna go down here, grab this item, then make my way back up to the top and see if there's anything else I can get from the back wall of here. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else we can get in the upper area, because there's a lot of maze-like areas to get through there. Well, we can barely make use of that at some point. I threw the last one out, but I really would have liked to use it to get out of here quickly, so let's hang on to that for the time being. Okay, so we can't go any further this way. Random Geodude shows up. It's kind of funny, I have not seen a shiny Pokemon yet, because back when I would play through my original games of Sapphire, I think it was mostly Sapphire that they came from, but also Pokemon Pearl, and very few in Pokemon White, but what I'm trying to say is shiny Pokemon. Now, a lot of people sometimes go their entire lives and not see a single shiny Pokemon. Shout out to my friend Mikey, he did recently mention that to me, and I seem to be lucky in that sense, because there is quite often that shiny Pokemon just happen to show up. In fact, how's this for a question of the day for you guys, just for this particular video? No code card giveaway for this question, but just to get some feedback and interaction. What is, if you can remember, the first shiny Pokemon that you ever encountered? As for me, I'm trying to think. I know I had a shiny Oddish at one point in my original Silver playthrough. Yes, Hyper Potion, very nice. I can't remember if that was my first one or not, though. But I do remember finding it in the wild. I did eventually evolve it up into Blossom. We haven't even seen Blossom yet in this playthrough, have we? But I did catch the shiny Oddish, evolve it up. I think I might have had a shiny Drowsy as well. And I think so, because I remember seeing a purple shiny Hypno. So those would have been my first two, but I think the Oddish did come first. And also, feel free to leave some comments. Let me know if you have any sort of dramatic stories of shiny Pokemon encounters. For example, I had one time, well, what I was trying to do was try to collect the full generation of, not full generation, full evolution line of some shiny Pokemon, because I did happen to have a lot of them showing up eventually. And I remember one time I encountered a shiny Geodude which was golden color, which was pretty cool. I captured that, and then I later encountered a shiny... Wait, where am I at? Did I go up here yet? But I did encounter a shiny Graveler as well. And I like to just use regular Pokeballs, so as soon as I saw it, I had a feeling it knew self-destruct, so I threw a Pokeball immediately, and I was so lucky, I caught it at full HP, it didn't self-destruct, first ball did work. When I checked its moveset later, it did indeed have self-destruct. Or no, wait. I think I weakened it first because I knew I was taking a chance that it would blow itself up, but anyway, I did catch it. I later found another shiny Graveler in the wild, at which point I thought, if I can catch this, I can trade it to somebody like my nephew, for example, and evolve it to a shiny Golem. Later on, if I catch another shiny Pokemon, I could trade it back to him. But as it turns out, unfortunately, that shiny Graveler decided to self-destruct, and I wasn't able to capture that one. I also had another instance where a shiny Pokemon did run away. At one point in Fire Red, I believe it was, I think in the Sevi Islands, I encountered a shiny Execute. It was in, I forget what the name, I think it was the third island maybe, but it was a wild Execute in one of the forests that you could actually just battle them and capture them, which was pretty decent. I weakened it, caught it, no big deal. They're like nice golden eggs too, which I kind of like. And I later did go back into the, the Fuchsia City Safari Zone, and look, another ladder I didn't know about. And an item! Let's take it. Ether, definitely good. Alright, so that is all we can access from the main area of Mount Mortar, or at least behind the waterfall. Now, I'm gonna leave and head back into the central area and let Gary waterfall us back up to the top. But anyway, I did encounter a shiny Execute in the Safari Zone, and we all know how fun the Safari Zone is to try to capture Pokemon, right? Unfortunately, it did run away, and I was not able to capture that one. But I was okay with that because I already had shiny Execute. I could have evolved it into shiny Exeggutor, however, and complete that evolutionary line, but it was not to be. And that's alright. I had so many shiny Pokemon other than that show up. And I guess here is some more feedback. So I'm giving you a lot of questions of the day, basically because I'm trying to fill up time. I think I'm doing an okay job, but feel free to let me know, which shiny Pokemon do you like the coloring of the most? Because there's a lot of options out there. Some Pokemon... Did I go down here? Yes, I did. So what is at the top? Hang on, I want to go up to the top. Take the waterfall. There's some shiny Pokemon that don't have that much of a color difference, and I think I was starting to talk about this in a previous episode and got completely sidetracked by something on screen. But when I was going around in Pokemon X just to fill up some time, I decided I'm going to try to capture as many shiny Pokemon as I can, or at least just encounter as many things as possible. thereby maximizing the chance of getting a shiny. So I was talking about how the day-night system, the different lighting effects can change the way a Pokemon looks, and as it turns out, shiny Poliwhirl is really not that much different than a regular Poliwhirl. I believe it's a slight shade of blue lighter. And the problem is, when I'm doing shiny hunting for Poliwhirl in the daytime, every single Poliwhirl looks shiny because it's brighter in the day. And I had to, really pay attention, focus on whenever a Pokemon showed up. Like, I couldn't just encounter it and just set the 3DS down and do something else, because I had to wait and see, do the sparkles happen? Because if I didn't see the sparkles, I would not know that a Poliwhirl is shiny. It's just that hard to tell. So, some Pokemon are pretty cool in that they have a really drastic color change. I'm trying to think of some good examples off the top of my head. Well, like I said, Geodude is golden, Execute is golden as well. Something I kind of think is interesting, shiny Psyduck is blue, whereas regular Psyduck is yellow. Regular Golduck is blue. You would think shiny Golduck would be yellow, right? Nope, it's blue, just a different shade of blue. You know what, let's go for an Ice Punch. Let's finally get some damage off in this episode. We haven't fought anything yet. Down goes the Golbat. If I can get Fluffy at level 38, that wouldn't be too bad. One more battle should do that, too. So hopefully another Golbat shows up, we can just Ice Punch that as well. But shiny Pokemon are always pretty interesting, and I do feel kind of bad in the way that I do have a lot of them show up kind of at random, and other people go so long without seeing one. Now, there are more ways you can improve your chances of finding shiny Pokemon. What I was really hoping to do back in Sapphire is when I started breeding just to fill up my time in the game, I wanted to see if I could breed shiny Pokemon without, like, I didn't know what the exact technique was to breed shinies or anything. I was just kind of breeding things on my own, just, my own natural way. Because I wanted to have cool movesets on Pokemon, and something I thought about shiny Pokemon, encountering them in the wild, they're not going to have any egg moves. Of course, you have to breed egg moves onto Pokemon for them to have them. So, I thought the only way to have a shiny Pokemon with an egg move would be if I breed for it. So, in all of my breeding, which was relatively not that much, I didn't encounter any shiny breed or shiny hatched eggs, unfortunately, but I know there are ways to do that to increase the chances. It's the Masuda method, I believe, and if you're interested in shiny Pokemon breeding, feel free to look up the Masuda method on YouTube. I don't know enough of it offhand to even give you the remote idea of how to do it, but there are many other tutorials out there, I'm sure. Just feel free to look those up and possibly find out how you can breed shiny Pokemon. Now, a nice thing about Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they did improve the chances of finding shiny Pokemon in the wild through horde encounters, and there's something I think called a shiny charm, or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Max Revive. Oh, that's the thing that we couldn't pick up last time. So wait, have we already checked this area out? But yeah, there are ways to improve the chances of getting shiny Pokemon in the wild, and what I like about the Dex Nav, by using your radar to try to track down some Pokemon, you will sometimes encounter Pokemon with egg moves, or, some other move that they normally wouldn't have. And if that happens to be shiny, that's another way to get a shiny Pokemon with an egg move, which is kind of cool. So, there's not much more I can think of to discuss at the moment as we continue exploring Mount Mortar, and we're pretty much through, I think. If there's a ladder over here, this connects us down to where the Karate King was at. Now, was there anything else to the bottom right? Let me think here. Okay, so when we encountered the Karate King, we had to move past a stone, or like a boulder that we had to strength our way past. I'm gonna go down here first. I'm not gonna get off this floor, though, because we know what happened last time. The boulder was basically reset. We couldn't push it up. We had to be stuck on this floor and then had to take the long way around. But let's just check out... Move. Alright, there we go. Let's just see if there was anything else. I'm pretty sure there's not, because we had to come all the way back here. So there's only one area left to check out, I think, unless I'm missing something. If I am, feel free to throw a comment my way, let me know. Professor, you idiot, you missed this important part! There is the most powerful move, there's most powerful TM, everything is there! And if that is the case, I apologize, I missed it. And it might cost me the game in the Pokemon Elite Four Battle of Pokemon League, but if it happens, we'll have to find out. So, let's flee from the Zubat. I'm hoping to find another high-level Pokemon just to get the KO. Like, I probably could have hit level 38 with Fluffy by now just by hitting everything. You know what? Let's just do that anyway. How much will a level 17 Zubat give us for experience? I feel bad going for a super effective move, but I don't want to recoil damage my Clefable. No one wants to do that. So, the Zubat falls. It should be at least halfway to that next level. Not even. Oh well. So we're gonna head up here. And we do have the escape rope. We can just kind of vamoose out of here as soon as we're done. And basically just kind of round out the episode, I guess. Maybe organizing some items, checking the TMs that we have, just to see what we have working with. We did pick up the Endure TM last time, and I'm thinking... Well, I already said I know who I'm going to give that to, and I will just say it is going to be a Pokemon that's going to be going into the Elite Four with us. So, we will make good use of that. Guess what? You don't have Sturdy ability yet. You're done, Geodude. Let's get some experience. And based on, that was a critical hit. We didn't need that, Fluffy. Calm yourself down a little bit. Save those criticals for the Elite Four, please. But based on the levels that we did see in Victory Road, as I've said, I can grind up to level 41 for my Pokemon, because I like to grind to 5 levels above the highest leveled wild Pokemon in the area leading into the next area. For example, the next gym we're going to, or in this case, the Elite Four. And that concerns me, because I don't remember what the levels of the Elite Four are in the original Pokemon Gold and Silver. I might be horribly under-leveled by going in with level 41s, but on the other hand, that does provide really good challenge, and therefore, I think, pretty decent content. You guys can watch me struggle my way through, hopefully not losing anybody, but if it happens, it happens. And we'll have to wait and see. So the Zubat, never mind, we just did hit, blah blah blah, we just did hit level 38 with our Clefable. Now did we go this way? I'm not sure. But alright, Wild Geodude, and I'll check out this last little area, and then I think that should round out everything here in Mount Mortar. And that could be just about ready to call it a day. So this is a ledge to jump down. I know where we're at now, we just saw this earlier. So this is basically it, unless there's an item up here. But I think I came down here already. There is a ladder. Did we take this? Wait, this is the ladder that we came down. Alright, I think that's basically it for Mount Mortar. I'm just going to do one last little roundabout down here, just to see if there's anything at all remaining, and then I think we're good. Goodbye, Geodude. Wait, I don't want to switch Pokemon, I just want to walk away from this. And we'll try for some random encounters in the wild, see if we happen to find one of those wild roaming legendaries. Alright, Zubat, that is enough. We're going to just use the escape rope and get out of here. Too bad I still have Rocky on the team, I could just dig. But it's alright, the escape rope is an item that we would normally just sell anyway, and not get that much money for. Therefore, we're going to put it to good use, and free up a space in the item bag as well. So, out we go. Okay, now, on the off chance that we do happen to encounter one of the roaming legendaries, who should I bring on the team? Chirp, we're going to fly back to Ecruteak, and I found Ecruteak City is the best place to go for the roaming legendaries. The reason is, whenever you encounter them, you'll get to see them on the map, right? I'm going to heal up first. You can see them on your map, I believe. Either check the Pokedex and check their area, and it'll show you where they're at, or even, I think the map in the Pokegear shows you that. But anyway, however, you do get to check them out. It shows you the route that they're on, but every time you change routes, they change routes to an adjacent route from where they're at. So the thing is, first of all, let me focus on this. Who do I want to use to try to weaken these Pokemon up? I need somebody fast. Let's see, well, Stinger's pretty quick. No, our fastest one is Bullwinkle. I can't use the bike in here, that's the wrong button anyway. So Stinger, whereabouts are you at? Did we put you in the injury box? I think we did. We're gonna go back to the injury box. We do not need Flash anymore from what I recall, so we can put the brain away and let him heal up, rest from his injuries against the critical hitting Lugia back in episode... I don't know, but we did lose him to Lugia. So therefore, it's rest time. I find it kind of funny that he is injured, but he's one of my strongest Pokemon in Pokemon Go at the moment, which is kind of cool. So let's go ahead and grab Stinger. You don't belong in here. In fact, neither does Marowak, but I said I was going to get Bullwinkle, didn't I? You know what? Stinger's pretty fast. We're going to lead Stinger and see if he is fast enough to try to get some attacks off on these legendary Pokemon. And if not, oh well. I'm just hoping that we're going to encounter them. My plan is, just to round out the episode, cycle around a little bit down in the route south of Ecruteak. We'll go for like 4 or 5 encounters and then come back up. And if so, basically, if I don't encounter them in the first 5 encounters, I'm going to go to Ecruteak and come back down. That will re-randomize where they're at, or not randomize, but it's going to adjust the routes that they're on. And this is the way that you want to try to capture these Pokemon. Because if, for example, they are on the route south of here while I'm in town, well, as soon as I come out of town into this route, they will move to another route. So you want to try to see, like, go into town, see what route that they're on, and go to a different route than the one that they're on surrounding this town. Because of course, once you leave town, they're going to move from the route that they're on and go to a different one. You just have to hope it's like a 50-50 chance that they come to that one, and not even 50-50. They might completely leave the opposite direction too. So, it is just random chance they're going to happen to encounter the legendaries. But I didn't even know Vulpix was on this route. That's kind of cool. And it's not even an ice type, that's a fire type Vulpix! The people of Alola would be shocked. So speaking of that, I suppose I could mention, just briefly as we do a little bit last minute, sort of rounding up the episode, the new trailer for Pokemon Sun and Moon was released, and some new Alola forms have been revealed. Now, we did know from the Koro leaks that, or at least we suspected, and it was pretty much confirmed, that Meowth and Marowak have the Alola forms, but they have finally revealed Alola form Raichu, which is very neat. It's a electric psychic type. It hovers on its own tail, just like the Raichu in Pokemon Stadium when it would use Surf. And it's such a cute looking little thing. The ears are like, different design. The whole thing's of course a different design, different pattern and all that. But it's kind of cool to see the different Alola forms. But it does lead the question. Now, the question was sort of started back when Alolan Exeggutor was revealed. How come Alolan Execute has not been shown yet? Is it going to have an Alola form? Or is it just a basic Execute that if it evolves, it could evolve into the Alola form? But then, that begs the question, how exactly does it do that? Is it supposed to be an is it supposed to be an Execute that was caught in Alola? Therefore, its Pokedex, not Pokedex data, but its data screen would say that it was first caught in Alola. Does that mean that it could only evolve into the Alolan form? Or could you capture an Execute in a different region, transfer it up through the generations, like, Pokebank, and evolve it in the Alola region? Would it then become the Alolan Exeggutor? It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. And no one really knows, of course, yet the games are not out. But it's just a lot of interesting stuff. It's leaving us just guessing at what's going to happen. And of course, there is the question of why was Alola form Persian not mentioned? Why was Alola form Cubone not mentioned? And perhaps, most notably, Alola Pikachu? Why is that not a thing yet? We do know Alola Raichu, so again, it's a matter of, is a regular Pikachu going to evolve into the Alola form Raichu if it's in Alola region? Who knows? And is it still going to evolve with Thunderstone? What if they put new evolutionary ways into the game? For example, this new Pikachu, what if it's like a Pikachu hits level 20 with a certain move while in Alola? Maybe that's how it becomes Alola form Pikachu, or Alola form Raichu. There's so many possibilities, and that's what I liked about all the generations coming out. They could come up with so many different ways to have your Pokemon evolve. For example, in Gen 2 with new held items being added, holding items while being traded cause some evolutions. For example, Seadra holding a Dragon Scale becomes Kingdra, Slowpoke or Poliwhirl holding a Kingdra could evolve into something different. It's pretty cool. And other things like in later generations, evolving at certain times of the day while happy, and Happiny holding an Oval Stone while leveling up during the day, I think was a way to get your Happiny to evolve into Chansey. It's pretty cool. Let's go for 2 more encounters before calling it a day, just to see if we happen to find any of these roaming legendaries. I'm still hearing some slight audio glitching, however, not quite as much this episode, so perhaps the problem that my computer was having, causing the issue, might be working itself out. If I was more technically capable of fixing computers and diagnosing problems and stuff, I could take care of this myself, of course, but the problem is I am not quite that well versed in computer software or hardware, so I tend to make use of the nice fact that I live next door to a computer repair shop. I can always just bring my computer there and have them fix it up. Of course, it does cost money, but that is the downside to not knowing how to fix it myself. So, looks like we're not going to find any of the roaming legendaries. We're going to just walk away from this hoot and head back into Ecruteak City. We'll just save the game up and call it a day, and I believe at the start of next week's episode, or next week's part of the playthrough, why am I going to the pack? At the start of next week in the playthrough, we are going to begin with a grinding montage as it is time for us to go after the Elite Four. Like I said, I'm nervous, kind of. I don't know what we're going to experience. I don't know what the levels are going to be, but you're going to be there with me through the grind, trying to see if we can get through and hopefully not lose a single Pokemon. Anyway, with all that being said, we're going to sign off for the day. I want to say thank you for checking out today's episode of Pokemon Silver. Come on back Monday as we go into the Elite Four. And again, feel free to answer the question of which of the current series on the channel are your favorites to watch. The Pokemon playthroughs, like, the LPs like Silver, Pokemon TCG live online matches, online battles in the online competitions, Pokemon Go, and the Monday news update video thingies. Answer that question, you have a chance to win one of those 2 code cards I mentioned from either Roaring Skies or Ancient Origins when I do the drawing later on in the day on Sunday, because Pokemon Go has to have a chance to have people answer that question there. So anyway, the end of the day Sunday, I will draw 2 people that have answered the question throughout this week, and one of you will get 2 of you will get one of those code cards, each distributed. You know what I'm trying to say. So feel free to share this playthrough that's linked in the description with a friend who might want to see some classic playthroughs of Pokemon games, such as Silver and then Sapphire being the next one, and leading into the Kanto section of this whole game. I'm just kind of stumbling over my words now, so we're going to end it off before I make a bigger fool out of myself. I want to say, once again, thank you for checking out today's episode. Professor Chaz signing off, and I'll catch you next time.